Welcome back, Truth Seeker. We're looking at the front page of CNN.com. Big story how Trump arrived at his stunning idea to take over Gaza. What we're going to get to is this isn't his idea at all. Again, Donald Trump is nothing but a puppet stooge, just like everyone who occupies that Oval Office. And it's the men behind the curtains that run to the show. And again, we're going to go over what a perfect ritual this is, why Donald Trump talked about his Gaza plan on the 35th day of the year, what it has to do with the year 1947 when the United Nations drew up the border for Israel, when they promised that Israel would not expand beyond those borders, something they've continuously done for all the years that they've been there. And we're also going to talk about what it has to do with the history of the Templars, who were burned at the stake for worshiping Baphomet, which is a satanic idol, and how it ties in with Donald Trump, who runs on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan, just like his predecessor, Ronald Reagan, who he has so many parallels to, including being a Hollywood actor, a lifelong Democrat, and now bringing Iron Dome to the United States of America when Ronald Reagan helped bring Iron Dome to Israel. We're going to make it all make sense. And we might also, I just saw comments that said, hey, Zach, can you look at the Irv Gotti story? We can take a minute to see what's there. And again, there was a reported mass shooting in Ohio at a warehouse at the address 8822, which should stand out to any Trump person since he's always standing in front of that podium that says text 88022. Of course, Trump equals 88 in Gematria, Mega 22. He's now partnered with J.D. Vance, the Ohio native. But yeah, the real thing I want to focus on in this stream is Trump's Gaza takeover, turning it into dream real estate with the beachfront property after clearing out all the rubble that's been caused by all the Israel bombing of that small strip of land. Of course, bombs and missiles paid for by U.S. taxpayers. So yesterday, when Trump delivered his plan for Gaza, that the U.S. will take over, straight out of the Manifest Destiny playbook, that was the 35th day of the year. And again, if you're new here, if you've stumbled on this channel, I've been educating about this every single day for over 11 years, since August of 2013 when I came across this knowledge. Again, every single day you can see through the scripts that are the news, because they're all executed by this Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers. A, B, C is 1, 2, 3. When you apply that code to Gaza, G becomes the 7th letter, A becomes the 1st, Z becomes the 26th, A becomes the 1st. You add it up, Gaza equals 35. On the 35th day of the year, Trump unveils his Gaza plan. And again, this whole idea of letters and numbers and words, it comes from Gematria, the practice of studying the Torah and the numbers encoded within. If you've never read Genesis, just pop open Genesis, read the first 15 chapters of Genesis. You're going to have a headache from all the numbers in there that are unexplained. And then keep in mind the fourth book of the Bible, which is the fourth book of the Torah, is called Numbers. Again, that's why it's crazy that so many people believe so wholeheartedly in the Bible and they don't even really know what any of it means, including just the numbers scattered throughout. It's all encoded information. And it's just like any Kabbalist will tell you, you cannot understand the Bible unless you know Kabbalah. But yes, Gaza, 35th day of the year. And we write that date February 4th. Again, if you're new here, who gave us this language? Who gave us this calendar? Again, the Catholic Church and the Jesuits at the end of the 16th century. They have encoded the calendar and the language and synced it up with the Bible. Case in point, Zephaniah 2:4 in the Bible, February 4th, 2:4. For Gaza shall be forsaken. Just think about it. That is a forsaken place because these psychopaths have done it purposefully with a planned intent. It was drawn up in 47. Now in the time of number 47, here comes the grand idea from the chump who runs on the highest degree of the Church of Satan, which we'll come back to with the whole 35 thing, because both Satan and Baphomet also equate to 35. But notice how Zephaniah overlaps with Trump, 88, and for the record, Jewish equals 88 also. All of his children are married to people from which religion? If you don't know that, look it up. The only one of his children that's not married is the one that would be excluded from that, but all of his children of age who are married to people from what religion? Is it the Jewish religion? Jeremiah 47. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines before the Pharaoh smote Gaza. And again, smote, to destroy. Look at Gaza. Jeremiah 47. Trump's saying, hey, number 47's here. The place is destroyed. Let's just clear it all out with the bulldozers and put up some more Trump towers, beachfront property. Who doesn't like that? And just the way Trump talks about things, too, and people go for it. Yeah, we'll go in there. He's talking about removing people with force. And he's like, everybody I've talked to likes the plan. Everybody thinks it's going to be a glorious plan. Yeah, we'll just go in there and remove them with force and make it a big, beautiful beach resort. Everybody loves the plan. Oh, I'm sure everybody loves the plan. How about the 2 million people in Gaza? You think they like the plan? And realize, you guys, the reason they keep doing this crap, too, is because they probably got a script written out for the next 50 years. You know? The next Al-Qaeda, the next ISIS. You think they're going to like this? That's going to be part of the narrative, too. All these little radical Islamic groups that are controlled by the intelligence agencies that are the U.S. and Mossad, like Hamas, like Al-Qaeda, like ISIS. You don't think there's going to be some story in the future, some retaliation for this? Of course there will be. Of course there will be. We'll get some bin Laden manifesto about how mad they were that Trump came in and proposed, how dare that infidel from the West come over into our holy lands and turn it into a casino. Can you imagine, like, American showgirls? This is very anti-Islam. Some strippers on pole dances on the beachfront property in what used to be the Islamic Gaza. And for all the people who are like, well, who cares? Screw those people. Again, you're the same reason that the same stories and narratives are going to continue to manifest, because you didn't have respect for a different group of people. You didn't understand what was wrong with Team America, World Police, and these sick agendas that we pay for with our taxpayer dollars. And so many Americans just cheerlead along. But yeah, also in light of Zephaniah being a book of divine judgment, just look at the overlap with Trump and Judge, right? You see it, right? The 88, the 47, the 25. Here we are in 2025. Again, the trade war also started with China yesterday on the 35th day of the year, not to be overlooked. But here's the big one, you guys. From the war starting by the numbers, and again, for anyone who thinks what I'm showing is crap or numerology stupid, did anyone else in the world say the day that Netanyahu came back why there'd be a major war in Israel around the time Yale turned 322 years old, when this war started 2 days before Yale turned 322? Because I know I still have that video up on GematriaEffectNews 22, which was posted December 29, 2022, the day Netanyahu came back on the anniversary of Albert Pike's birthday, who wrote the letter about 3 world wars. Now the third will be centered on political Zionism. But anyway, from the day that war started by the numbers, on the anniversary of us invading Afghanistan, and we'll come back to that. But notice, from the day the war started to Trump's proposal was the 487th day of the war, which is the 93rd prime. Again, this war began on the anniversary of us invading Afghanistan, the plus 93 international dialing code. And remember, when Afghanistan's government collapsed, it collapsed on the 487th birthday of the Jesuit order, August 15th. After that war began in a major Jesuit ritual. But yes, 487 days, 93rd prime. Notice that's also 69 weeks and days. Look at the gematria of Benjamin Netanyahu. If you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language. You want to know all 4. They're all important. Benjamin Netanyahu equals 177, like the Jesuit order, like New World Order, like propaganda. His name equals 69, like New World Order, like Catholic Church, like Roman Catholic, like Illuminati. His name equals 282. The war began October 7th, 2023, 282 days after he came into power. And then the whole 93 thing. Israel was drawn up as a nation in 47 on the date September 3rd, 9-3. 9-3 in the year 47. And now this ritual with number 47 on the 487th day of the war, the 93rd prime, when again, there's all these parallels with what just happened in Afghanistan. And don't forget, the U.S. funded Al-Qaeda, or it was Osama bin Laden then, not Al-Qaeda, but the U.S. funded Osama bin Laden so that he and his group could interfere with the Soviet Union in Afghanistan, which eventually led to him supposedly creating Al-Qaeda, this terrorist offshoot that attacked the U.S. This is the story. Anyhow, 93, huge number with Israel and its history. And by the way, I should mention General Assembly Resolution 181. That's the 42nd prime number. Remember, Zionism equals 42, Jesuit 42, Freemason 42, War 42, Iran 42. You might recall when Israel fired 180, or was it vice versa? Who fired the 181 rockets? Was it Iran fired 181 rockets at Israel, or Israel fired 181 rockets at Iran? It was one of the two a few months back. The point was we were talking about this 181, the 42nd prime thing. In that vote to create Israel, there were 33 votes for, symbolic number 33, 13 against, another symbolic number, 10 abstained, so thus there were 56 total votes. Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, the 56 gang. Trump installed into power again on the election on, remember the 5th of November, the day the Jesuits tried to blow up British Parliament, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. But following the 93 thing, notice Hamas also has the 93. Hamas also has the 15 like war, 30 like war, 42 like war. And there's so much about Israel and its history with 93. The other year when Shimon Peres, one of their most famous leaders, died at 93, the world leaders gathered in Israel on the day leaving 93 days left in the year. Their Congress, Knesset, equates to 93. At the time, their leader of Knesset was Edelstein, which equals 93. Again, Iron Dome is 93. Big time number that recurs with Israel's history over and over, including it being Ehud Barak, the leader of Israel after 9/11, who said we should invade Afghanistan, the plus 93 international dialing code. The Synagogue of Satan 223 thing was a big part of why this war started in 2023, a year a lot like 223, which is the 48th prime number, going with Israel being founded in 48, again on the date that's 14/5, like 145, like there's 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament. Donald Trump stopped by Jerusalem Day back in 2017, then went over to the Vatican by the numbers. Okay, just to remind you who's really executing the script as we read these BS headlines. How Trump arrived at his stunning deal. It's not his idea. And again, just all these divisive things they set up so that Trump can come in and take the side on and you know, get people on the right more indentured on the right and people on the left even further on the left. Just how they play these games with us, like people who don't know what their gender is, supposedly thinking that again, certain things that are being done, I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad we're getting back to some common sense here, but you got to see the script for what it is and how we're all getting played. For all the people who are celebrating these things like it's something great, again, it's all a game that's being played with humanity, and that's what you need to see. Do you remember when they took out that Sinwar guy, the supposed leader of Hamas? Sin equals 42, war equals 42, Sinwar. This was October 17, 2024. Just for the record, just how his name's like a perfect overlap with Jesuit order. Remember the 84. We're going to come back to that. Yesterday's ritual was 84 days after the Jesuit leader's birthday, Arturo Sosa. But yeah, just Trump bringing Iron Dome to America right now. I mean, talk about a tribute to Ronald Reagan, who also died at 93. Ronald Reagan, who died on June 5th, which can be written 5/6, the anniversary of Robert Kennedy getting shot. We know where Trump and RFK Jr.'s rituals have been coming together. You know, the day RFK Jr. got in the race, we called out the assassination hoax coming with Trump. They pay tribute to Revelation 13:3, where the beast's head gets wounded. And again, beast equals 47 like Trump, using the Bible as a playbook. But also, yesterday, Trump giving the big thumbs up next to Netanyahu, who they might as well put a small mustache on him. I don't see how Small Mustache Man is any worse of a human being than Netanyahu is. And you know what? Honestly, this might offend people, but I'd say Small Mustache Man seemed like a lot better human being, actually, than Netanyahu, to be perfectly honest. And for anyone who gets upset about that, why don't you listen to the two guys speak? Netanyahu speaks with, like, no humility. Again, you listen to Small Mustache Man, more clever, Not as disgusting in the things he said. Netanyahu has like no respect for Muslim people. Like he wants to throw them all in the meat grinder. A small mustache man never spoke that clearly about who he despised. So yeah, for anyone getting offended about that, maybe do some actual research and stop being so emotional. And also don't forget that the word Ashkenazi has Nazi right in it. And don't forget that the Nazis made the deal in 1933 for German Jews to go down to Israel. Yeah, that was signed in stone before all the theatrics by the numbers unfolded. And don't forget the Jesuits are who the Nazis were modeled after. Anyway, yesterday's ritual happened on the 107th day of Netanyahu's age. 107, like the day that the war began on 10/7, military 107, ritual sacrifice 107. For the last year and a half, we've looked at the stories of Israel bombing hospitals. Oh, Israel blew up another hospital. Oh, today Israel bombed a school. The headline said 35 babies dead, 50 children. Nobody even cared. Nobody even America even cared. And that's, it became very clear to me when 9/11 happened and the months after that, how is America any different than Nazis? I mean, it's like everyone's cheering on a war against a religion. There were headlines like that left and right. Oh, U.S. accidentally bombs school. U.S. accidentally bombs wedding. U.S. accidentally bombs hospital. It was the same thing. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. And again, they were all just cheering along the Reichstag fire, which was the World Trade Centers. Remember, the guy who the Nazis blamed for the Reichstag fire, his name equals 201, like the Jesuit order, like Adolphus Hitler, like how the Twin Towers became 0 towers, 2 became 0 before they became 1 World Trade Center. Don't forget the 93 World Trade Center bombing either on the day Falling Down came out. They got a Nazi in that movie too, don't they? Falling Down. Never seen that movie. You should watch it. Michael Douglas isn't even putting up with the Nazi, though. And by the way, when Michael Douglas tears up the Asian guy's corner store over inflation, pay careful attention to that scene because you'll see that the store is on the corner of Corona. Like Trump printed all the money for the Corona, germs. The hyperinflation came soon after. And I told you when they first announced they were going to start printing money to send everyone checks, I told you that day, I said, man, just watch. They'll probably be like, your savings will probably be worth a fraction of what it was before all this. Next thing you know, $300,000 are selling for $500,000. Anyway, again, the war began on 10/7, 107, the 28th prime, Israel 28. Again, look at the overlap with Israel and Zion, 64, 28, 44. Netanyahu's got the same numbers too. And Netanyahu's got the same numbers in Hebrew and in English. With regards to the Jesuits, their formal title is the Society of Jesus. From Trump's birthday to the ritual yesterday, 235 days. Shouldn't be any mistake about who's doing this. Again, Israel was created on 14/5, the 14th day of May, like the 145 more chapters in the Catholic Old Testament, the Jewish section of the Bible, which begins with the Torah, where this whole letters and numbers thing comes from. And remember, the war last year began on Putin's 71st birthday, 71 days from the Pope's birthday. Netanyahu declared war the next day, 35 days from the leader of the Jesuits' birthday, Arturo Sosa. Remember, there's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, 145 more chapters. Catholic equals 35, like Holy See, like Jesuitism, like Satan, like Baphomet, like Gaza. The Jesuits are considered a Roman Catholic religious order. That's just another 145 for the record. Going with that 14/5 start date. David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, 145. He died 201 days after the anniversary of Israel's establishment. State of Israel equals 201. Like the Holy Bible equals 201. Like the Jesuit order equals 201, which is why they use the Bible as a playbook. It is their playbook. The Catholic Church is responsible for the Bible as we know it. Even the Protestant Bibles, really. From the Superior General's birthday to yesterday's ritual, 84 days. Just like how Netanyahu declared war essentially on Gaza on the day leaving 84 days left in the year. Again, notice the Gematria of the Jesuit order, 177, 69, 201, 84. We hit 177 where it goes with Netanyahu, 69 where it goes with 69 weeks and days since the war began, et cetera, et cetera. But the 84 piece, Jesuit, United States of America, Zionism, Masonry, all 84. Zionism's also 42, like Jesuit, like Freemason. The date can be written 4-2. February is also 42. War 42, World War, Hamas. Again, this storybook is going more places. And eventually where this storybook goes to is an act of terrorism at Al-Aqsa Mosque, because, again, the hardline Zionists want to blow up the thing so they can build the third temple there. And remember, for years now, there's a coin on sale in Israel where it's called the temple coin. It has Trump's head on one side along with King Cyrus and the third temple on the other. And again, they're raising funds to eventually build the third temple where Al-Aqsa Mosque is. Al-Aqsa Mosque is why Israel is where it is today. And that's thanks to the Templars, because the Templars think that's the site of Solomon's temple and Herod's temple. And again, they want to build the third temple at the same site. That's the Jewish prophecy, that when the third temple is built, the Jewish Messiah will return. The Christians tied in with Revelation and what they want to see come, the return of Jesus. But yeah, again, just 35th day of the year, highest degree of the Church of Satan, mega. Again, for everyone who thinks that's some kind of coincidence, could just go back to April 30th, 2011, the anniversary of Hitler's death. Again, the Church of Satan was founded April 30th, 66. So on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, that was the day of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Obama had Trump there as a guest. And Obama told the joke to Trump about how he'll become the 45th president. It was 45 days before Trump's birthday, which means every year the Church of Satan's birthday is 45 days before Trump's. But on the 45th birthday, Obama jokes that Trump will become number 45. They do a visual of the White House lit up like a casino. Remember, Barak means lightning in Luke 10:18. Lightning is how Satan travels to earth in a bolt of lightning. Again, in Luke 10:18. The other year, the rapper Lil Nas X put out the Satan shoes with 666 pairs with real blood in the soles with Luke 10:18 etched in them, which was the anniversary of the Event 201 simulation for the scandemic, where Trump became the father of the jab on Mercuralia, the day to celebrate Mercury. Another little sick joke that went over everybody's head. So, yeah, this isn't Trump's plan. Trump's the Jesuit stooge puppet in there executing the script. Again, symbolic because he's the guy who's known for real estate and land development and building towers, golden towers. Solomon's temple, gold. Again, just read through the Bible and get the jokes more and more. Don't forget that Solomon's temple equals 58. Herod's temple equals 58. Third temple equals 58. Jerusalem equals 58. Freemasonry 58. Secret Society 58. Pope Francis equals 58. He became a Jesuit in 58. The Jesuits are the fathers of modern Freemasonry. Trump won the 58th election, announcing from the 58-story Trump Tower, then went to Jerusalem for Jerusalem Day and declared it the new capital. All of this stuff has been done by the numbers, and it's all been building up to this moment. And again, if you're new here, we said why Trump would lose in 2020 and why he'd be back in 2024 before all this stuff unfolded. Yeah, it just, I don't know when they're going to bring the TNT to Al-Aqsa Mosque. We did call out in 2019 why there was going to be an event at Al-Aqsa Mosque on August 11th, 2019, and there was. That was the day the Muslims remember their dead. And if you recall, the Israeli police raided Temple Mount and were beating the Muslim protesters with sticks and firing tear gas on them. It was an ugly scene. They said it was one of the worst things to ever happen at Temple Mount. We saw that coming a year in advance. Part of the joke of why they did that on August 11th, that holy day will only fall on that day every 19 years. Also, what fell on that day was Tisha B'Av, to remember the destruction of the two temples. And the other thing is there's that show out there, Dig. If you've never heard of Dig, look it up. It's about hardline Zionists who want to blow up Al-Aqsa Mosque so they can build the third temple there. Think about how Dig is associated with the date August 11th. If you have a home, you know what's the number you have to dial to find out what's in the ground before you dig. The number that you dial is 811, like August 11th, 811. Again, so we were talking about all those things a year in advance. We said they're going to do something ugly at Temple Mount. Worst case scenario is they might have blown it up that day. Well, good thing it didn't happen. But this plan is still going to come into fruition at some point. They put all their predictive programming out there. Does it happen in the time of Trump this term? Is it going to be 19 years from August 11, 2019? If so, that's the year 2038. It's possible. It'll be here before you know it. But again, if the world doesn't wake up, you will continue to see these rituals executed, and they will drive the world into a more insane place as time goes on. Again, those 19-foot tall stone monuments in Georgia, the Georgia Guidestones, a pledge to depopulate the world to 500 million. Who had the quote about the Third World War? By the end of it, people will, they say the Third World War, it'll be nuclear annihilation, and people will then fight with sticks and stones because essentially everything will have been destroyed, including of all of our technological understanding. But yeah, this stuff is really super sick, and most people look at it like kind of indifferent, or some people are cheering it on like, oh, what a great idea. Yeah, did you hear Trump? Trump said everybody loves the idea of removing them forcefully and making it a nice, beachfront, beautiful place. It's going to be beautiful. Dude, it's sick. This is sick. The whole thing's been sick, man. I mean, it's been sick from the beginning. The supposed attack on first of all, they attacked a concert that was going on at what time? Really early in the morning. When in your life have you ever heard of a concert going on at like what time did they say it was, like 7 a.m.? Never in my life have I heard of a concert going on at 7 a.m. And here, just to remind you about all this stuff, like Mia Shem, the girl with the pretty eyes who they kept showing with the whole hostage thing. Let me take you back to this one about Mia Shem, about this whole just repetitive Catholic encoding. Mia Shem, 71. The war began on Putin's 71st birthday, 71 days before the Pope's. The war declared 35 days before the Superior General's birthday. But you see how Mia Shem's the exact same as Catholic in every cipher? And then the other joke about it is Netanyahu's birthday is 10/21, October 21st, the day leaving 71 days left in the year. Look at what Genesis 10:21 says. Genesis 10:21 refers to relative ages of Shem and his brother Japheth. It's about Shem. Hold on. I thought I had it here. Maybe it's, hold on. I just wanted you to see how hostage went with the whole thing of Israel being 75 years old at the time. All right, right here. A little connection with Disney, who's connected to the Templars as well. Remember, October 7th leaves 85 days left in the year. Templar equals 85. The Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, equals 85. The Templars waged the Crusades. But again, Israel was 75 years old at the time. And even before Netanyahu came back and we nearly predicted the war to the day, I've been saying for years, something crazy will happen in Israel while it's 75 years old, and that's because of something that was written in the New York Times, controlled by Jesuits, October 6, 1940. Here, New York Times, October 6, 1940, New World Order. I'll just search that much right here. Look, this is right from the New York Times website. New World Order pledged to Jews. The date of this, October 6, 1940. That date numerology, 10 plus 6 plus 19 plus 40 is 75. New World Order equals 75. Catholic Church equals 75. Roman Catholic equals 75. Order out of chaos equals 75. The word order alone is 75. As for 10-6, the word prophecy equals 106. I did mention how yesterday was 107th day of Netanyahu's age, which is true. Another way to say it is yesterday was 106 days after Netanyahu's birthday, when prophecy is 106. Military is 107. Again, military plan, executing the prophecies of the Bible, forcing and contriving prophecy. That's why I get annoyed when people are like, Zach, you got to elevate to the next level, bruh. This is all the Matrix, bruh. This is God's plan, bruh. No, you got to elevate to the next level and get out of that religious bullshit thinking, which is the bottom foundation of what the cabal's done to humanity to keep them in full-on retard mode. Who said it in what movie? Never go full retard. That's what you guys are. It gets annoying. You think you're on the next level, but really you're riding the short bus. Short bus. Notice all the guys trying to co-opt this work are all trying to preach this matrix bullshit. Yeah, there is an organic side to the code, but this is an obvious, deliberate, manipulated side, telling you about some concert that got attacked in a heavily secured border at 7 a.m., perfectly synced with Netanyahu's return so he can execute his genocide, where apparently God's matrix plan just has them bombing hospitals, I guess, each day, but you can't see the genocide. God, I mean, yeah, graduate to the next level. Get off the short bus. Try listening to what I'm saying over here rather than what the shills are saying. All you guys become part of the problem. You become part of the evil for your willful ignorance. Again, when you're preaching this matrix crap, you're just trying to create some kind of excuse for why you don't need to do anything about this because this is just the way it's all going to unfold. Haven't you read the Bible? It's going to end in hellfire. This is Satan's place. Have you ever considered that that book was printed by authorities to control people so they give Caesar what's his and turn the other cheek when they keep getting abused? Again, there's a time and a place for everything that's within our God-given abilities. God doesn't write books, but God did create this place and created us, and he gave us the right to defend ourselves, turn ourselves into warriors for when it's necessary. It's so long overdue. And don't ever forget that Thomas Jefferson said that if you don't revolt every 19 years, you will lose rights and liberties. Again, I've said it a million times that used to just dumbfound me. Every 19 years, I couldn't figure out what in the hell he was talking about. Every 19 years, that seems pretty frequent. Again, it's because the moon's on a 19-year cycle. It's why the Jewish holy days fall on the same day every 19 years. It's why they gave you 19 hijackers 19 years before Cooties 19, where you better sign up for your experimental jab. And for all you guys who think it's the small caps who run the world, how come that nation got the worst of it then, where they had to get more of those experimental jabs than anybody? Okay. All right. Couple more stories real quick. All I saw this morning was them report that it happened at the address 8822. And I thought, okay, that's got to be some kind of... this is the same day as the Sweden shooting, if I'm not mistaken, unless it was early this morning. Let's see what it says real quick. A shooting at a New Albany warehouse Tuesday. So yeah, okay, same thing with Sweden, right? We talked about what the date 2/4 or 4/2 had to do with guns and gun control. Again, gun is 42 like ammo. The small way, gun and ammo are both 15. It had a 15 date numerology. It says authorities said 28-year-old. Remember, shooting equals 107, the 28th prime. Kind of like how that war in Israel began on 10/7 when Israel's also 28. Authorities said 28-year-old Bruce Reginald Foster III allegedly shot 6 people. The date numerology yesterday was 6. We capitalized on that big time in Rig Sports, resulting in 1 death at the KDC-1 building on Smith's Mill Road. Roughly 12 hours later, Foster was arrested in a Columbus neighborhood not far from Ohio State's campus and charged with aggravated murder. Here, we got our 3-part shooter name, because when isn't it a 3-part shooter name? The word kill is 28 for the record. $121 is a blood sacrifice. 229 is the 50th prime. Gun control 50. What is KDC-1? Is that a company? KDC-1 Columbus manufacturer. Here's their address, 8825. Oh, I could have sworn I saw 8822 on the news this morning. But anyway, 8825. That's interesting because Trump is 88 and 25, and Columbus is 25 as well. Take advantage of that with the Blue Jackets games. That number plays hard with them. But KDC-1 Columbus. Okay. Oh, KDC-1 25. You guys, is this a big news story today because it happened last night? I wasn't seeing this buzzing in the news last night, but I have seen it today. Is today February 5th, date written 5/2 or 2/5? Kind of interesting, right? KDC-1 all over the news on the 5/2/25 date. Again, Columbus has that. Well, has the 25 and 110. It's also got the 47, like the whole Trump thing. 88, 25, 47. New Albany. Officials provided additional details Wednesday afternoon. Remember, Wednesday is the day of the week that normally does have the shooting news, so they technically did it yesterday. But remember, shooting equals 44 and 37. Like Wednesday, the town that got shot up in Sweden had the 37 connection. It was 37 days after the prime minister's birthday. Let's see, New Albany. New Albany is 97, the 25th prime. Remember, we said to watch out for this. This could be a deadly combination in 2025. Death equals 97 and 25. Again, fits in with New Albany. And then again, the shooting yesterday, but really big news story today. New Albany has the 34, like murder, like black. I see they're saying the shooter's black, right? I'm sure that's not an accident. New Albany OH has the mass shooting. Yesterday also had 51 date numerology, mass shooting 51. New Albany OH, like you'd write out an envelope 51. Wow. 144 like Jesuit order. 63 is the 44th composite number. It's 63 forwards and backwards. 207 is the number that has to do with the Jesuit playbook, Art of War. But 63, the 44th composite number. Shooting 44. Again, in the news on Wednesday. Here's the timeline. 10:20 p.m. Tuesday. So late at night. Around 150 people were in the building. Breaks down to 6 numerology on the 6th date. 6 people shot. Has the 15 sequence in it. 15 date numerology was in the path, like guns 15. Early Wednesday, the police come out and say it was a targeted shooting. So yeah, this story definitely spilled into today. Police Chief Greg Jones. Here, let's see if we can pull up any information on this guy. Greg Jones. He's been an officer since '89. So this year is going to be 36 years on the force. Says the population's approaching 25,000. How about that? If we need another 25. Hey, his name, look at that. His name forwards and backwards is 144. His full title, New Albany Police Chief Greg Jones, 144, right? New Albany, Ohio, 144. Jesuit Order, 144. The United States of America, 144. The Jesuits came out of suppression 144 days after James Madison's birthday when he was the president. How about just Greg Jones alone? Greg Jones alone, 44 like shooting, 46 like sacrifice. 143 and 100 like, well, actually his name's a lot like Wednesday. And again, he's in the news today, right? I don't think he was in the news yesterday. He's talking about it today on a Wednesday. Wednesday and Greg Jones. I mean, exact overlap in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. Here was his moment. 4 a.m. Please discover address with possible connection. The shooter's name again is Foster. It's his surname. Foster, 837934, the surname, like murder. 3 of the same 4 digits. Again, if you haven't seen that show Utopia, you should watch it. There's a scene. If you don't know what Utopia is about, it's about billionaires controlling the world through propaganda, literally raising people to be mass killers. There's a scene in there where a guy, he's a family man. He's got a nice little family at home. He's a mechanic, but he gets some call from the higher ups, and they whisper like some code into his ear, and he turns into a maniacal killer. So many weird things in that show. Again, it came out in 2013 in the UK. Amazon remade it in the time of the lockdowns for the scandemic. The main plot point of the show is billionaires use the media to fake a pandemic, to mass vaccinate, to mass sterilize humanity. Thank you, Amazon, for the remake. Okay, so Foster's identified as the suspect today. Okay. He legally purchased his firearm. Uh-oh, better outlaw the guns. Yeah, anyway. And then here about the Irv Gotti thing. These were the requests. Irv Gotti's 54 years old right now. Speak of those damn Jesuits. He's got that June 26th, the Sus Hominum Salvator birthday. But he was in the news yesterday on the 4/2 date, right? 42 days after Jordan's son's birthday. He's getting shamed. Tiger Woods' mom's dead. Tiger Woods, y'all. And it looks like on this same day, by the way, 50 Cent's got the 42 connection as well. That number is 50 Cent's who Jam Master Jay's death is synced up with. Let me see. Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti's got the 96 in his name. The divisors of 42 sum to 96. The day this news broke was a date with 51 numerology. 120 is the 15th triangular number. The date also had 15 numerology. And hold on, from his birthday to this news breaking, 223 days. 223 is the 48th prime. Irv Gotti, 48. 223 days after his birthday, in the news for health problems. Go figure. All right, there's probably even more to it. He co-founded Murder Inc. Records, imprint of Def Jam. Murder Inc. 51. Again, 51 date numerology. The news broke. It was a date with 15 and 51, which both break down to 6. Related to Def Jam. I don't really see the Def Jam piece in it. But I do see the Murder Inc. piece. And 98, it's 27 years later, right? Gets fateful with the 27s, that whole 27 club, Ritual 27. All right. I told Sweet Lady I wouldn't go too long. I didn't even think I was going to have time to do the stream right now because we had an appointment to go to, but it got rescheduled, so it's coming up. I know Sweet Lady wants me to make a little food before we head out of here. So, yeah, I think that's all for now, Truth Seeker. People need to wake up, man. Again, you're cheering on these agendas. You feel like you're a spectator. You feel like you're having fun with this. Again, you better wake up because it's only fun until it's not. All right, and thank you, Kelly, for keeping us not broke over here. I appreciate that. Kelly Green with the big 2. Why did they blow up the Georgia Guidestones? So the Georgia Guidestones, for people who don't know, the name that was etched on those was R.C. Christian, right? R.C. Christian, which has that 76 in it. God, I'm going to come back to the other things etched in it. I've always focused on the 76. But again, the Georgia Guidestones, they were just the huge 19-foot stall tones were put up at the end of 1979 with nothing on them. Just huge 19-foot stones put up at the end of 79. And then on March 22nd, 1980, in the time of Jimmy Carter, who was the 76th governor of Georgia, who again became the president-elect in 76, again, they etched in stone on March 22nd, 1980, the things that were on there. The 10 rules for essentially a new world order, where the top one is limit the Earth's population to 500 million. And what day March 22nd, 322 is associated with 322, skull and bones. There's a lot of meaning to 322, but it's very connected to skull and bones. Skull and bones has the 76 gematria as well. What day did they came down? They came down on July 6th, 2022, on George W. Bush's 76th birthday. And then the other birthday it was Daniel Coit Gilman's birthday. Daniel Coit Gilman is also skull and bones. That's who founded the Johns Hopkins University, major influence in the world of medicine, which, again, a lot of people who took the advice of the authorities and the medical industry, they didn't come out of the hospital in the time of the scandemic. They got put on machines that put holes in their breathing devices. But, okay, they came down in this major 76 ritual, and they came down 201 days after the Pope's birthday. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201, right? Skull and Bones gets their symbolism from the Illuminati, which is founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit Pope. And Skull and Bones also gets their symbolism from how the Templars bury their dead. Again, the Templar cross is in the middle of the Jesuit Order's logo. But anyway, when the Georgia Guidestones came down, it was 201 days after the Pope's birthday. In Francis Bacon Gematria, skull and bones equals 201. It's like the movie The Skulls came out 201 days after Paul Walker's birthday. Paul Walker, the star, Skull and Bones, he gets the red Porsche in the movie, ended up dying in a weird ritual in a red Porsche. 5 years to the day of Papa Bush dying. George Herbert Walker Bush, the father of George W., who, again, they came down on his birthday. But the Pope's name is 201. Like the Jesuit Order is 201, like Order of Illuminati is 201. Again, Skull and Bones, you got to use the Francis Bacon cipher, which Derek changed to called capitals added. Skull and that cipher is cap sensitive, but that is a relevant cipher. Again, I tend to stick to the base ciphers, but yes, that is a real cipher, and that is where Skull and Bones has the hidden 201 connection. But by the way, the Guidestones came down 201 days after the Pope's birthday, or the 202nd day of his age, which also connects with Skull and Bones. Remember, Papa Bush was number 41, born June 12th, the day leaving 202 days left in the year. A lot of Skull and Bones people in the federal city, which is the 202 area code. This nation founded the year the Illuminati was founded in 1776, in the time of the Jesuit suppression. Skull and Bones is also 149, which is the 35th prime, coming back to Catholic and Jesuitism and Holy See and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, the point is, remember, in light of these things coming down 201 days after the Pope's birthday, what was going on when they came down? The scandemic. They stood up for 42 years. What was the thing that people were getting? And some of those people aren't here anymore. Now they have a heart problem or a turbo cancer. Again, they lasted for 42 years. Event 201 was the scandemic simulation put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab, along with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, where, again, William Henry Gates is another 201, and his wife Melinda is from a family of Jesuit priests and has the same August 15th birthday as the Jesuit order. But there's a reason they took it down in the time of the scandemic. It's like they let their plan stand for 42 years, a very symbolic number to them. Then they took it down. And by the way, just last year would have been the 44th anniversary of them going up. They'd been destroyed and no longer there. But last year would have been the 44th anniversary on March 22nd. Remember this one. Georgia equals 44, like Chick-fil-A. I bring up Chick-fil-A, the Georgia franchise, because they announced, Chick-fil-A did, on the 44th anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones, the etchings being unveiled. That's also 181, the 42nd prime, which is interesting, and 62 like Georgia and 44 like Georgia. But they announced last year on the 44th anniversary they were no longer going to use the high-quality chicken at their restaurant. Again, just going to the cheaper meat full of, all the pumped-up steroids and hormones and antibiotics. To me, that was bigger than Chick-fil-A. It was just something symbolic about our food and the reason people get so sick at this day and age, and just another reminder of ways they're phasing us out. Toxic food, toxic water, toxic air, toxic ideas, toxic agendas, turning you into guinea pigs, plans for war. Don't forget military and genocide both equal 44. But yeah, I think they took down the plans. Well, in the time of part of it being achieved, but obviously they have a lot further to go if they're going to get the world's population down to 500 million. I think it's just that they let it stand long enough. Now clear it out. And again, we could be coming into a very dangerous period in time. The Deagle website years ago, which uses military intelligence, forecast that 2025 was going to be a very deadly year for humanity. It's off to a really bad start, just crazy fires in major cities. All kinds of things, all kinds of signs and symbols. We're just getting started with 2025. Let's hope that it was faulty intelligence and we still got a long ways to go. But again, if we meet the edge of the cliff and we get pushed off, understand it was, of course, there is a cabal making this happen, but really I'd place more of the blame with humanity, who were inept and never rose to the occasion. And instead of hearing the call of duty, they sat at home and played Call of Duty on their, I think I was just in Costco and saw they have 99-inch TVs now. All this is bothering me. I just want to play some Call of Duty. So anyway, appreciate the $2 and the question. Thank you again to everyone who hits the like and the share. If you missed the earlier stream today about just rig sports and how to take advantage, hey, Come join us on the Patreon. But again, there's so many ways to use this knowledge. And if you're thinking you need to build a bunker, but you don't have the money, hey, maybe learning this knowledge might help you get the revenue you need to build that bunker. That's not how I'd say to spend your money, though. Personally, if it's the end of the world, I'd rather just go out with everybody else than live underground in a bunker, but that's just me. Rather go out like a champion fighting these evil people. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. And until next time, Truth Seeker, have a good day.